G'day, Robert Beth here. Now we're starting the final learning outcome, number 4 in the core series of chemistry 0620, and we're going to describe the effects of temperature and pressure on the volume of a gas. Now I'd like to pose these following questions. See if you can answer them at the end of this. Once I've finished saying the questions, press the pause button and write down something or think about it for 30 seconds to a minute. This enables you to get switched on and to start getting your mind in the right frame. What is a gas? That's the first question. What is pressure? Does temperature affect the volume of a gas? It could. I don't know. Maybe. What do you think? Does pressure affect the volume of a gas? Can you give an everyday example of pressure being used in our lives for society's benefit? Bit of a hint. Maybe weather, meteorologist. So I'm just going to pause. Now we're going to go a little bit more under detail in the knowledge and understanding, and we're going to start with, when does gas pressure occur? When you blow up a balloon and fill it up. So I'm just going to blow up this balloon. We've done this before. Or blow up a bit of bubble gum. So I've filled up the balloon with particles, and inside this balloon, if you were to get a microscope of sorts, electron microscope, the particles are colliding with one another, and they're hitting on the inside of this balloon, exerting pressure. At the same time, according to Newton's third law, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So the particles are hitting at the elastic balloon, at the same time the elastic balloon is pushing. So at the moment, it stays constant. We call that the balloon is being exerted by the pressure of the particles on it. And I've inflated it using my air. There we go. Now, all gases exert pressure on objects. So that whether it be hydrogen gas, carbon dioxide gas, nitrogen gas, whatever it is, if it's in the gas state, it exerts pressure on the objects around it. Now, we know from experimental effort, pressure changes according to the temperature of the gas and the volume it takes up. Now I'm going to show you a little diagram in a moment, and I'm just going to pause, and then we're going to have a look at the diagram. How does increasing the gas temperature increase its pressure? Now, by the use of these diagrams, we're going to try and explain that question. Now, you can see here that we have gas particles hitting the inside of this container of whatever direction. They might be hitting there, hitting here, hitting one another. You can see that the high-speed gas particles hit the inside of the walls of the container to exert pressure. At the moment, it is low pressure or lower pressure because it's lower temperature. Now, if we go to the next diagram, if we increase the temperature here, we can see that the gas particles have an increased kinetic energy. Therefore, there'll be a greater number of particles that hit the wall and hence increase the pressure. So that also increases the probability. So you get a greater number of particles because of the increased Ke hitting the inside of the container. Now, does changing the volume of the gas increase its pressure? Now here you could see the volume is greater than the volume here. So the volume here is much greater than the volume in the next diagram. So the volume is less in this diagram. And that's due to this plunger being pushed in. So as the gas pressure is lower and we push down with the plunger here, we can see that the number of particles originally here are in a lower volume or less volume. That being the case, there's a greater chance that particles will hit one another and hit the wall and increasing their probability of colliding and hitting the inner wall of the container. Hence, gas pressure is increased. So here is a quick 3, just to recap this last lesson in particle model theory or states of matter. I'll read them out for you. Briefly describe the effects of increasing the temperature on the pressure of the gas. Second question, briefly describe the effects of decreasing the volume on the pressure of the gas. And the final question is, what is gas pressure? Briefly describe it. Pause the video before you have a look at the answers. So here are the answers to question 1. Question 1 reads, briefly describe the effects of increasing the temperature on the pressure of the gas. The answer or suggested answers you could have are as follows. As you increase the temperature of the gas, the particles increase in their kinetic energy. They move further apart and hence have greater chance of collisions and increase the number of particles exerting pressure. Okay, the third and final question, what is pressure? Briefly describe it. So here's the suggested answer. Gas pressure is the force exerted by the particles on an object's surface area. As given by the formula, pressure equals force over area.